David House is the co-founder of the Bradley Manning Support Network. So he helped create this website in order to find strategies to help free Bradley Manning. And as a result, the government is not in favor of him. In fact, they wanted to find out what his strategies were. So when he arrived at Chicago's O'Hare Airport after vacationing in Mexico, 2 ICE officials approached him and they took his computer, his USB, his cell phone, and his camera, and they didn't return it for 7 weeks. They downloaded all of the information, all of the data on his, all of that technology, and they shared it with various federal agencies. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything illegal. He did not cause any imminent threat to anyone. There was absolutely no logical reason for them to take all of this technology away from him and then share the information with other federal agencies. The only thing is the government didn't like his political speech and they decided to punish him for it.
So a couple of implications of this. So first of all, everybody who contributed to this support network for Bradley Manning, now they have your identities, right? That's what they wanted to do. And second of all, they took this guy's personal emails. They read through all of them, okay? And then the third part of this is that they didn't even bother to try to get a warrant. They didn't try to get reasonable suspicion, probable cause, nothing. They don't suspect him of anything. They're like, who cares? We just want to basically terrorize you, even though you're one of our citizens who is doing something that's perfectly legal and within your First Amendment rights. But you're doing something we don't like. Bradley Manning is a guy that is, in Julian Assange's words, in an interview he did with me, he said Bradley Manning's a political prisoner. Yep. And he's a whistleblower against the government. He embarrassed the government. How dare he? And you're trying to support him? Well, that's it. We're going to seize your stuff. They said, oh, no, you were, basically coming back into the country and hence at the border, technically, and we can do anything we like at the border. That's not true. Where do you find that law that says that if anybody's coming into the country, if they're a U.S. citizen, you can rifle through all of their personal stuff, that you can take their cell phones or their laptops and rifle through it? There's no such law. Right. But we've become a lawless country where they can do. This is why we warned you about warrantless wiretaps, national security letters, the Patriot Act. Now they can do anything they like. The Fourth Amendment is irrelevant. The Constitution is irrelevant. And you go ask Republicans, and more than half of them are like, what? There's something in the Constitution other than the Second Amendment? I didn't know that. No, this is what you should be fighting.
So as I'm reading the story this morning, I get this sense of panic, right? And I keep getting this sense of panic because you see your civil liberties taken away, you see your constitutional rights violated, and no one's doing anything about it. And I'm thinking to myself, who's covering the story? Like, I found this article on ACLU's website, and the only reason why ACLU is writing about it is because they're representing David House. No one's talking about it, right? So Americans aren't outraged because they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea that David House had all of this technology taken away from him, all of his personal emails rifled through. He has no one knows about this stuff. But this is the kind of stuff that needs to be reported. I'm glad that we're doing it now. We're going to talk about it on the current show. But this is what's happening. We're asleep. And while we're asleep, all of these things are happening to us.
That's why media is such a critical part of it, right? That's why it was so important for the establishment to basically buy off the media, right? You know, on the issue of the National Defense Authorization Act, we had our producers here on the current side look to see if CNN had done any stories on it in the 2 weeks before the vote and during the vote. None.
Yeah, and it's no mistake that that happens. I mean, it's all about what they choose to cover, and they don't choose to cover these stories. And, you know, I don't mean to drag this story on even longer, but what I do want to mention is this is why I was so against the TSA doing those extreme pat-downs and, you know, the full body scans and all that stuff. You know, people hate slippery slope arguments, but if ever there was a slippery slope, here's an example of it. The Department of Homeland Security is saying that they have the ability to take this technology away from someone, even if they have absolutely no suspicion. Here, let me read you exactly what they said. Federal agents may take a traveler's laptop, computer, or other electronic device to an off-site location for an unspecified period of time without any suspicion of wrongdoing.
Who needs suspicion of wrongdoing anymore? It's not like we live in the United States of America with a U.S. Constitution. Gone, obliterated. I tell you that every day, and like I'm sure that there are some people who watch the show and go, oh, come on, that can't be true. I mean, they're only doing it to people like that are in Al-Qaeda, right? I don't want to be too racialist, but they don't exactly sound like Al-Qaeda. Does David House sound like is a guy that's part of Al-Qaeda forces? No, Al-Qaeda was a bullshit excuse. What we're doing now is real Americans. You don't agree with the government, you're target number one, okay? Conservatives, if they're, and some of them are upset about this, but if you're not upset about this, you have no idea what your government's doing to you.